Hey, welcome back everybody. We've had some requests to go over the trailer now that it's finished and the build is complete. So here it is. Okay, so we started off with an 18-foot PJ B5 buggy hauler. Biggest thing that we did was added a winch mount, and what we did was integrated a 2-inch receiver hitch right behind the spare tire into the mount that came from the factory. And as you know, there are some other videos about the process that I went through to get it installed, but this is what it looks like when all said and done. So again, that 2-inch receiver was cut directly into the channel that came from the factory and welded on both sides. As you can see, kind of hard because the spare tire's in the way, but welded it on that side, and on the inside, which you won't be able to see, is welded as well. And then this plate that you're looking at here is 1/4-inch steel plate that was used to box in around the hitch. We welded the sides and then beveled them, and of course welded all the seams up. So again, the receiver is welded both sides to the 5-inch channel and then boxed in with 1/4-inch plate, which was also welded against along the top here, and then smoothed it out with a grinder and flap wheel and all that stuff. Same thing with the edges here, beveled them with the grinder and flap wheel, and then painted everything to match. So it's pretty seamless. It looks factory, if not better. And that's rated at least 10,000 pounds. So the winch is on a speed mount. I can take it on and off at ease. We added a buyer's product tongue box, which was mounted to the frame by adding some tabs, as you can see, also welded on. And then inside is our battery setup. So as you can see, there's the plug, the harness. It's routed into a battery right there. We use AGM batteries for almost everything we do. Use this mount system. It's a bracket, essentially sits on the floor, but it bolts to the forward wall of the box. We did have to add 2 bolts for that, but the majority of the weight, actually all the weight, is actually just sitting on the floor. So that came out pretty good. We can do another video with the winch, show you how that works later. But for the majority, that was the build. It all comes together pretty seamlessly. And one last thing we had to do was change out the factory tongue jack, which was a top wind model and wouldn't accommodate having the tongue box installed. So we had to go with a front wind, or what they call a side wind. We just turned it sideways. It was not too bad. The original one was mounted to this plate, welded, just like you see here. We cut it off, used the same mounting plate, welded this one on, painted it up to match, replaced the hardware with grade 8 nuts and bolts, which came out a little bit nicer than the factory setup, and also went with a little bit better of a mount. We did a Bulldog 8,000 pound jack, and we're pretty happy with this setup. here's the final part of the equation you guys might have been wondering about. The winch is on this tray, which has a 2-inch shank welded to the plate the winch is mounted on. Let me show you how it works. Just go ahead and put the lock on and that's it. Or you could just use a standard hitch pin. Now all I have to do is deal with this harness. It's pretty cool. I've got these magnetic zip tie harness holders on here. So I take those magnetic clips and stick them to the frame. Just route the harness where I need it to go. Plug in the winch power. So thanks again for watching. Appreciate the likes and the subscribes. Make sure you check in to see what we have coming up next.